Let's have a look at you. Are you about right? There we go. There we go. Excellent. I'm so excited about this. Wonderful. Good evening, my lovelies. It's Boaty here, and I couldn't be more delighted to be coming in your eyes and ears live from Windy Bottom here in the Peak District, where it is terrifyingly cold. It really is cold. And, oh, bugger me, I'm watching. Oh, there's an advert. Oh, adverts. That's a new thing, isn't it? Right, do I talk while the adverts are on? Oh, quite a long advert as well. Oh, this is good. This is going to earn me money. Enjoy the advert. Right, that's thrown me, and that's one of the things that you and I need to talk about. I've got so much to talk to you about tonight, and it's all so exciting. Look, I'm excited. This is my excited face and body. Right, you lot will just have to wait, 'cause I'm not skipping these adverts. I earn money for this. Oh, there's another one. Oh, it's Lewis Hamilton. Look at that. I mean, what more could you want? You get me and Lewis Hamilton. How wonderful is this? Christ above, it's a 2 minute and... Oh, balls to that, I'm skipping it. There we are. Right. So much to talk to you about tonight. Oh, first things first, I am using, prepare yourselves, I am using a new recording device. Please, can somebody, or all of you, excuse me, that was an early burp. I don't normally burp this early in proceedings, but tonight I did. Just the way it's going to be tonight. First off, please let me know, first let me know, did you watch the adverts or did you skip them? I'm going to be talking about this tonight. When an advert pops up on any of my doings, keep your hands off that knob. Just let them run. Go and make a cup of tea or clutch your private parts or do something, but let those adverts run. They could be the difference between me having heating or not. This chair is in the wrong position. It's Simon's fault. He left it improperly positioned. There we are. That is that rectified. Where was I? Yes. First off, new recording device. It is rather splendid by my standards and rather pants by your standards. Let me know if you can see me and hear me properly and as you would expect. Now then, before we crack on with all of these terribly exciting things I've got to tell you, let's say a few hellos. Excuse me while I have a bit of a slurp. We'll get on to this, but today was one of those days that started disastrously and just got better and better and better, and right now I am feeling ginger peachy. Now, who we got? Let's see. Monsieur Gilbert T. Codwacker was first to comment tonight, so congratulations on your first. Good evening to you, and I hope that you are tremendously well. And he says, oh, moving right into what will be an upcoming feature. One of the fleet is going to be departing. And Gilbert has said, have you sold Shit Zone? And I suspect that by Shit Zone he's referring to the Honourable Shisen, who is, of course, the world's first non-binary Rover 25, and must be referred to using the terms they, them, and theirs, which I keep forgetting to do. But Gilbert, no, I haven't sold Shisen. They are still with me. Well, they're not. They're up in a yard in the frozen north, but in spirit. Matthew Harrison is in the house. The shock of having a YouTube megastar on his stream made him forget to stream last Thursday. Right, we can talk about this. I'll tell you what happened. You might have noticed that all of my numbers have gone down or stayed still. Certainly my subscriber flow stopped flowing. The reason for that is, as you know, or as I think you know, or as you probably know, because I can't remember. I know I didn't do last Thursday, but I did last Monday, didn't I? So you know that I reached the target to apply for the YouTube Partner Program, or in more vulgar terms, for my channel to be monetized. And so, yeah, so you know that happened, and you know that I applied. Now, what I did then was I stopped doing most stuff until I was accepted, because, and this sounds terribly, terribly money orientated, but I thought, you know, why do it for free? Why not wait until I'm properly monetized and get a couple of pence? And believe me, it really is a couple of pence. So I kind of did nothing, and all of my numbers went down, and I didn't get any subscribers, and it all felt weird and wrong, and I missed you all terribly, because you mean the world to me, you people. You're such top of the range blessed poppets. You really are. Absolutely splendid. I mean, you know, if I was buying you new, you'd be a very expensive optional extra. And I would pay that money for you, because you are wonderful. And I couldn't love you any more than I do. And I've lost track of what I was saying. Yeah, so I didn't put any stuff up. But everything is back to normal now. Spoiler alert, I am, my partnership thing has been accepted. I am now officially a YouTuber, in that I get paid something for it. And bloody hell, not much. My first payment notification, not that you actually get the money, that comes along in due course, but you can see what you've earned. And my first one, bear in mind I put nothing up, my first one was 13 pence, 13p, and I have never been more excited about 13 pence in my life. I was proud of that 13p, I am proud of that 13p, despite the fact that you can't really buy anything with 13p. What can you buy with 13p? Do they still do fruit salads? And what was the other one? They used to be half a p each. You used to get 2 for a penny. Fruit salads and the other ones, whatever they were, from your local sweet shop that was probably run by a guy in a grubby coat that was not entirely to be trusted around young people, and that was why he was running a sweet shop. Or maybe that was just my childhood. Yeah, it was a shock. So good evening, Matthew Harrison. It was a shock having a YouTube megastar with me here in person. When was it? It was last Monday. It was a week ago. How time flies. It was a great shock, great fun, and hopefully it won't be the last time that happened. Now, if you'll excuse me, I am going to go out of chronological order and just check if anybody has commented to say that you can actually... Oh God, yet another tooth on its way out. I'll soon have none left. That's definitely a bit... Let's see if anybody says that they can hear me and see me, just in case I'm... diddly-do. I can hear you fine, a little interference maybe, but can no longer hear the aquarium pump. Oh God, I hope the fish are okay. Right, well, let's assume that you can see and hear me, and I'll tell you all about my new recording equipment in a little while. GUU has got an early rise tomorrow morning, so he's not going to be with us. So let's wish him a very good night. Sleep tight, stay warm, and we'll see you when you catch up with this on the catching up doings. Jimmy Quinn is with us. Good evening, Jimmy. How the devil are you? Bad Books is in the house. Good evening, body lad, and good evening to you, sir. Project Nigel. Captain Mustard, or as you will know if you are a member of our community Facebook group, it's just called Boaty's World. Dead easy to find. Go onto Facebook, search for Boaty's World, you will find the page and the group. If you haven't joined, do join us. It's a great place to do stuff. And if you are a member, you will know that Captain Mustard is officially the group's Hairy Paddington. When he comments in the group, he's got a little thing after his name saying Hairy Paddington. It's official. Isn't that wonderful? Anyway, he says hello to all of you lovely people, which I assume includes me, and I would like to wish you, in my turn, Colonel Mustard, Captain Mustard, Corporal Mustard. Anyway, a very good evening to you, sir, and I hope that you are feeling fruitful and wise and learned and just generally spiffing. Oh, bloody hell. The Greenwood, our Tracy is with us. That's an unusual treat for a Monday. Let's have a read of her comment and find out why she's with me. Evening all, no stream for me tonight. Steve Stroke Woody has been in hospital, so I'm here early. Well, his loss is our gain, but yeah, my friend Steve is indeed in hospital. Bless him. There are, you know, he has health issues, and he's a brave boy, and he battles through, and he's still doing, he's still getting content up there from his hospital bed. So all the love in the world from me to him, or you if you're watching, which I doubt you are, and indeed the lovely Sian. Hopefully you'll be home very soon. And good evening to you, Tracy. I might as well drink this now that I've got it in my hand. It'd be silly not to, really, wouldn't it? Oh, and I've got a really nice curry to look for. It's just a brilliant day. There's so much stuff going on, and I will get onto it very shortly. And I hope that you will be as excited as I am. Indeed, I'm excited just to be looking at my new recording device, which has given me a wonderful widescreen picture. And it's very different to looking at my elderly. I'm reaching for it, I'm going to show you it. This is what I did all of my recordings on up to now. This is my very elderly iPhone 6, and it is now going to be in semi-retirement. It has been replaced. But I would like to take this moment to thank you, elderly iPhone, because you have helped me and this channel to get to where we are today, and for all of these lovely people to know each other, and for me to know, and thank you, iPhone 6. And in tribute, I will not be getting rid of that. I will keep it as a backup and as an aide-memoire. Another burp, that's 2 burps. What is the appropriate number of burps for a professional live streamer to deploy during a live stream? You can answer that. What's the optimal amount of burps per hour? Let's crack through. Oh, Project MGTF, aka the lovely Simon, is with us, and he is, what's he saying? He's made it funny. Greetings, fellow people of planet open brackets, looks at map, close brackets, Earth, in parentheses, or are the brackets parentheses, and those are other things. Anyway, he's here, and let's all say good evening to him. As you will find out from forthcoming videos, he and I spent some time together today, and it was rather wonderful. And I must thank him again for an excellent lunch. I can't see an advert, I want an advert. I don't know why you couldn't see an advert. The first thing I was confronted by when I logged in here was a double advert, which were nice and long. I like the long ones because that will earn me lots of lovely pennies, as long as... Leave that knob alone. When an advert comes on, do not touch that knob. Now then, you've got red hands. Yes, I know, I've got workers' hands. I haven't led a pampered and easy existence like you, Captain. These hands have seen hard labour and a lot of washing up. There might be some glow off the candles as well, but I genuinely do have red hands. I have workers' hands, plus I'm old. New device seems a good picture here. Thank you, Simon. It looks good from my side too. Good evening all, says Matthew Harrison. And how's life, Boaty? Life is a lot better tonight than it was this morning, but generally life is really quite sweet at the moment, and I'm feeling particularly splendid about it. And I've got a drink in my hand and might as well have some of it. Life is all good, thank you. And I hope things are good with you, Mr. Harrison. And I hope things are good with all of you. I hope you are safe, I hope you are warm, I hope you are well fed. I hope that you have either received or administered a relatively nice podgering at some point within living memory. And yeah, I hope you're all generally splendid. Excuse I. KKC is with us and says good evening all, and we all say a jolly good evening to you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Oh, Gilbert Codwacker, he watched the advert. Good man, well done. Have you had a man round, he asked. Yes, I've had a Simon round. I'll tell you all about that in a moment. John Maruzzi is with us and he can hear me. Happy days. Good evening, John. Thank you for coming. Oh, now Matthew Harrison asked me about this somewhere on Facebook or somewhere. I get mixed up. I'm old. I'm easily confused. Hey, if I remember to put my trousers on, it's a good day. Do you know anything about the MG Rovers parked up on Hena Road, Smalley? Always seems to be quite a few. Yeah, I saw the picture you sent, and no, I don't, and I don't think I recognise any of the cars. I know some of the cars locally around, well, there aren't any locally around me, because there is nothing local around me, but obviously I'm in Ripley most nights, that's where one of the restaurants is, and I know a few of the Rovers around there, but no, I don't know, and I would love to know. So if anybody knows who the Rovers and MGs that are parked up on the Hena Road, Smalley, belong to, tell us or get them to come and join us. They are MG Rover people, they are our sort of people, and we need them in our community. Chris Maguire is here and says good evening, and I say good evening to you, sir. Mr. I have to be so careful saying this. Mr. Michael Hunt is with us. We won't use the abbreviation of your first name. Oh, Mustard pulled it off, didn't he? Mike Hunt. As long as you leave a pause, it's all good. But good evening. Thank you for coming. Sounds like a waterfall now. There shouldn't be any sound of running water. Don't know where that's coming from. Unless I have inadvertently wet myself, which is possible. I am of an age where that sort of thing can easily happen. Stephen S. Paul is with us from across the herring pond. We bid you a good evening, sir, and we hope you are well over there in America. Blackjacks, yes, that's the one, blackjacks. Blackjacks and fruit salads. 13p you can buy a Freddo. What's a Freddo? But apparently I can buy one, so I'd like to know what it is. Tracy Pattison. Now, Tracy, good evening, Tracy, and thank you for coming. Tracy is one of my lovely Singles UK Singles people, and she was the first one to be brave enough to venture over here, and she is now in our Boaty's World community group, and she sent me last night, we were chatting in Singles, and she sent me a link to a couple of videos she put up on Facebook, on a Facebook thing or on her Facebook. And she's actually quite a natural, she's a South Wales girl, which are best kind obviously, and she's got a really lovely voice, a tinkling Welsh voice, not overly Welsh, just the right amount of Welsh. and it's a voice that entices you in to whatever it is she's telling you about. She was showing, I think it was it a coastal pass somewhere on the Gower, which are the most beautiful beaches in the world, of course. But I was telling her she should do more stuff and should do some YouTube stuff. She's got a great, if I had a voice like that on this channel here, I would be much bigger than I am. And plus she's a female woman type thing, which is always good for channel numbers, except I'm not one. I just have to do my best with being me. But she's with us. That's burp number 3. I'm keeping count, don't you think I'm not? Wham Bam or Freddo Frog, I have no idea what they are. But apparently those are viable for 13p, so maybe I should find out. I can hear you, but the window keeps steaming up from my breath, so vision isn't great. What do you mean the window keeps... Are you watching through my window? Are you? I'm going to check. No sign, but I'm glad the curtains are drawn. Oh no, Freddos are about 26p now, so I could get half a Freddo. Oh, Arthritis. I do like that name actually. Arthritis is with us and says, good evening, you big fud. I take that entirely as a compliment, and a very good evening to you, sir. Official Harry Paddington, now he knows he's made it. That's it, isn't it? He is the one and only Harry Paddington in that group. But I will be finding names and positions for other people too, when I'm drunk and puckish and feeling like so doing. I love the alternative photos of Mustard and Boaty that keep being posted on Facebook. Yeah, some of those are really very funny. Yeah, there have been some good alternative views of Mustard and Boaty. Who was the last one that we were? We were, what's his face that plays Captain Dubrifirkin in Star Trek? Patrick Stewart, and the other one, whose name I can't remember. Harry Paddington, more like Captain Candyfloss. Looking forward to his live tomorrow. Well, yeah, I suppose I'd better plug that, hadn't I? If you're a fan of live streams, or if you're a fan of the Project Nigel channel, or indeed if you're a fan of both, then spurred on by me, and I take full credit for this, Captain Mustard is going to try his own live streams. And the first one, I mean, he did one before, but it was so utterly pants that we won't talk about that. I mean, it was embarrassing, it really was. For a start, he was bloody sideways, so you had to try and watch him like that. But he's going to have a go at doing it properly tomorrow at 10 o'clock, I think. So I'll tune in when I come back from work, and if you'd like to, feel free. But more importantly, tune in to me next Thursday. It's all about me. Me. That's what you should call me, me. So it's all about me. Oh, Frank Whittle is with us. Good evening, Frank. And he goes for 52 burps per hour as being the optimal burp rate. Put the iPhone in the case with break in emergency. Yeah, I'll be doing something like that. You keep blurring, says Gilbert Carvaquer. And yeah, I can see on my I can see on the screen that I'm watching on that there is occasional blurring, but I can't see that on the recording one, so I don't know what that's about. Maybe I need to, I don't know. Maybe it's heat haze coming off the candles because it's cold in here. I'm not sure. We'll assess this afterwards and see if we can sort something out. Leave that knob alone has to be a t-shirt slogan. Good shout. And should we do that now? Okay, as it's been mentioned, let's do that now. And Project Nigel weighs in and says, yeah, good t-shirt slogan. Okay, right. Now that I've been accepted on the partner program, it's not just about earning money from revenue. Certain things become available to me. So, I now have the options of the super chat system, the super thanks system, and the super something else system, which are basically opportunities for you to send me money. And I think that's a rather splendid thing. I would love to be sent money because I haven't got enough of it. But there we are. And you get things in return, apparently. I'm not sure what. The other things are that channel memberships will very shortly be a thing. But rather than just pile them on you, I wanted to talk to you about them. And I'll very quickly do that now, and we'll come back to it. So basically, I'm sure you know what channel memberships are. It means that you can support the channel, which again, you know, it all comes down to you giving money, basically. But by becoming a channel member, the idea is that you give a small amount of money to the channel per month, for as many months as you wish to do so, be that just 1 month or whatever. And in return, you get perks, things. Now, YouTube will suggest what things you should get for which tier of membership. So let's assume that there are 3 tiers. YouTube will suggest that for this you get this, for this you get that, and for this you get the other. Right, I've got an issue with that because a lot of what they suggest means making some content exclusive. In other words, if you haven't paid, you don't get to watch it. And I don't like that idea. Everything I do, as far as I'm concerned, should be available to anybody. I don't want anybody not to be able to see something or not to be able to see it until later just because they haven't forked over a couple of quid. Because that's not right. It's not fair. It just isn't, and it doesn't sit right. It's punishing people. It's taking things away from them because they're poor. And I think that's a bag of steaming poo, to be honest with you. I'm poor, and I would prefer things not to be taken away from me. It's not my fault that I'm poor. Well, arguably it is, but I would argue that it bloody well isn't. But on the other hand, I do want your money, if you can afford to send it. If you can't afford to send it, I don't want it. And even if you can afford it, I don't want much. Couple of quid a month. £1.99, £2.99, whatever it is. And I would love to give you things in return. So I'm asking you, what could I give you in return over and above all of the normal content that you would like in return for you joining up as a channel member? So would you like, I don't know, would you like shout outs? Would you like social media interactions? Would you like the opportunity to collaborate on a video? Would you like to appear on a video? Would you like to be first in the queue for Momo, or would you like to have free Momo when I do a Momo cookout at a show or at a meetup, or you know, something like that? Give me ideas. Tell me what would appeal to you, because I don't want to make basic content unavailable to anybody just because they're unable or unwilling to part with 2 or 3 quid, which isn't a lot of money, but it's a lot of money when you haven't got it, as I know only too well. I'm speaking as a man who woke up freezing his tits off because his gas had been cut off because I didn't have any money. And that's how poor I am. Nobody wants to be freezing cold in these sort of temperatures unless they have to be. So there you go. I'm not just playing at being poor, I'm properly poor, and I suffered for it this morning. So I'm not punishing anybody because they haven't got 2 quid to spare or 3 quid to spare. Bollocks to that. But for those that do have it to spare, I would like to reward you or thank you with something over and above. So let's have your ideas for that. Oh yeah, and the other thing, merchandise. I will be opening a YouTube shop. I will be selling merchandise. As we've discussed before, it needs to be ironic or amusing or just a blatant piss take. So any ideas for that would be more than welcome. Leave That Knob Alone is a great one. That's going on a t-shirt. Mustard is a muff magnet. That's going on a t-shirt. Any more ideas? Shout them out. Let's crack through these. Gilbert. Let's make an advert, he says. Boaty brand razor blades for when you need to shave your Paddington. You do make me laugh. Do not twiddle the knob. Yeah, leave that knob alone. Don't touch it. Keep your hands off the knob. They've got a really good selection of MG Rovers. Oh yeah, that's going back to the people on the What's It Road, the Hino Road in Smalley. No, the Muffman. Okay. Oh yes, let's hear that lovely Welsh voice. That's a shout out to Tracy. Tracy, my colleague, my Harry Paddington would like to hear your lovely Welsh tones, as would everybody. Come and do a guest spot. It sounds like you're frying chips. I don't know what that's about. Have I got issues with my new recording device? I'm so tempted to be stood at the window here. Yeah. Ali Mac Mechanical is with us. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Let's see. Oh, Mimi La Bonk. I used to love Hello Hello. Mimi La Bonk. What a great bloody name. Mr. Ben 747 is in the house, and he remains my favourite combination of a children's TV programme and burp number 4 and a large jet airliner. And he says, if I became a channel member, I'd like there to be cake. I'm very happy to make that a perk of being a channel member. Yeah, absolutely. We could have 3 tiers of cake, and anytime that I go anywhere, I will take cake with me, and channel members will get cake. Very happy to do that. That is a good idea. Cake is a great perk, says Simon. Looks like we're going down the cake route, doesn't it? Unless the cake is a lie. Oh, years ago I saw Mimi LeBonk driving a Mark 1 Toyota MR2 at Colchester Zoo. Oh, that could. Oh, we haven't done our features, have we? If anybody wants to chuck in on any of the long-running features, do feel free. And I would argue that Mimi LeBonk from Hello Hello, driving a Mark 1 Toyota MR2 at Colchester Zoo, qualifies for the Celebrity Out of Context Bingo feature, which is, as you will remember, seeing celebrities in a way that is somehow out of context. And that's definitely out of context. Sue Hodge, yeah, that's right, that was the actress's name. I've got a Momo steering wheel. Yeah, I remember when Momo used to mean something very different. Don't shave your Paddington t-shirts, that's a good idea. Oh, what's this guest thing on Thursday all about? Asked Simon. Okay, right. When I logged onto YouTube to set up tonight's short, a thing popped up saying that I've been selected as one of the YouTube channels to trial a new YouTube thing that it hasn't been rolled out yet, and they're not saying it's going to be rolled out to everybody, but it's trialing a system a bit like Facebook have, where you can have live guests on your live stream, and it's asking me to try that out and feedback on it. So if you would be interested in doing a short guest spot or a co-host or anything of that nature, let me know between now and Thursday, and I'll sort it out with you. I'd love to have some guests on. The wine's getting to me already. I've only had half a glass. A sniff of the barmaid's apron and I can't speak. It's been that sort of day. So that's what that's all about. If you would like to feature on a live stream, you have that possibility. Shout me out, let me know. Do it in the comments on the video, or find me on social media. I'm all over it. I'm all over the place like mad woman's drawers. Boaty's World on Facebook, you'll find me. Bum. Somebody can hear rain. What are all these random noises you're hearing? I'm picking up nothing. There are no weird noises here, apart from the fish tank. I'm getting worried about my recording device. Or are you lot winding me up? I wouldn't put it past you. Oh, God. This feature just won't die. OPWAP, Old Age Pensioners Worth of Pottering. The feature where we identify people aged over 60 who you still would, if you know what I mean. And Ruth Langford is Arthritis's nomination for OPWAP. I don't know who that is, but there we are. Oh, an entry for Out of Context Celebrity Bingo. As you are now a celebrity, I saw you sat in a Rover 45 that was not silver. That totally qualifies. Well, I'm not sure if I qualify as a celebrity. I mean, Z-list doesn't go low enough. But yeah, you have seen me sat in a Rover that wasn't silver, and that is an ideal celebrity out of context bingo spot. Oh God, another OPWAP. Mary Berry. Really? Mary Berry, really? Would you? Really? Blimey, each to their own. There's an interference coming through on the mic, not sure what it is. The noise is defo your audio in on your new recording device. Sounds like rain or waterfall or applause. Okay. That's concerning. Shall we, let's see, what can we do about this? Well, we can give the doing to wipe. If I can find a dry wipey thing. Maybe the microphone has got some fluff in, or... Where is the microphone on this? Oh, I don't know. Is it any better if I'm closer like this? Or does that make no difference? I shall be so annoyed if my new recording device is buggered. We'll see. We will monitor the situation. I'll have a listen back to it and see what the score is. Where did we get to? Oh God, another OPWAP, Carol Vorderman. Is she over 60? If she is, to be fair, I would too. The mic is drinking wine. I don't know what's going on. Kay Burley, another OPWAP. What about Lisa Tarbuck, spelt wrongly, says Captain Mustard. Yeah, well, what about her? I love Lisa Tarbuck. I like a lot of her work. I loved her in Watching when I was a young kid. Who remembers that, Watching, the sitcom? I don't, oh God, I love her radio show. I never miss it, apart from this Saturday when I did, and I keep meaning to catch up and listen to it again. I was listening to the football because I had a bet on France, so it was important that I listened in. But yeah, I love her radio show, but I don't think I would. I don't think I could. Just so physically not my type. Or would I overcome that because she's so entertaining and just have a jolly good... Well, I mean, it's all, you know, it's highly speculative anyway, because quite frankly, viewers, the chances of Lisa Tarbuck being prepared to allow me to administer a pottering in her direction are pretty damn slim. So, Mr. Hunt says I sound fine, just a slight background noise. Kay Burley, OPWAP, Oh, now there is an argument now about whether Mary Berry is hot or not. So, new feature, Mary Berry, hot or not? I'm going not. Purely because, well, she's not of an age where you should be considering porking the poor lady. I mean, how old is she? About 100 or something. You can't be thinking about firing the old spam. No, 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 no. I mean, it's just, no, no. Hidden comment, let's have a look at it. Dawn French is, how old is Liz Hurley? Good question. Right, Ali Mack is going not on the Mary Berry hot or not question. I remember watching. I used to love watching. It was sweet, gentle comedy like Lasted Summer Wine. And I can even tell you the guy who was in it, who I've never heard of since, Paul Bown. I enjoyed that. And the girl was Emma Ray. Yeah, it was sweet. It was, you know, back in the days when television and things were sweet. It wasn't all sex and violence and bloody reality nonsense. Emma and Malcolm from watching. Well done, Tracy. Gilbert agrees, watching was great. Project Nigel says a woman needs some shape. Well, you know, each to their own. Vive la différence. Some people like the Rubenesque lady. Other people like the more slender athletic lady. It would be a boring world if we were all the same. And Captain Mustard, you are my dear friend. And I happily give you my share of the Rubenesque ladies with some shape. There, double portion. You're welcome. You bet on France? Yeah, I did. Watching had Nursey from Blackadder 2 as the guy's mum. Did it? Oh, I'd forgotten that. Nursey, that was, what was her name? Patsy Byrne, I think. And she was wonderful as Nursey. In fact, everything I've seen her in, she was wonderful. Was the right word to use? She's probably no longer with us. But, oh, well remembered, that man. I've enjoyed that remembrance of knowledge. Tracy Pattison, Mary Berry, not Gilles, Oprah, Joanna Lumley. Can't argue too much with that. Liz Hurley is Liz Hurley is only 57 in 3 years' time. Yes. Harry Paddington has booked himself in for Liz Hurley in 3 years' time. Yeah, join the queue. I would too. I totally would. Twice, at least, with gusto and vim and vigour. Paul Bown was Roy Cropper's brother. Is that a Coronation Street reference? I like an athletic figure, but they're faster runners, so curves are good too. Brings a new meaning to Mary Berry's cookbook, Cream Lagoon. Oh, Lord above. Oh! Patsy Byrne died the same day as Sam Kelly. Now, is Sam Kelly the guy who was in A Lower Low and another of my favourite sitcoms, On the Up, with Dennis Waterman? Wasn't Sam Kelly the, butler, driver type dude in On the Up? I think he was. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. Mary Berry is as hot as a Viennetta. Agreed. What else have I got to talk to you about? Well, the new recording device. Excuse me just a moment. Might be time to top up the wine. My new recording device is an iPhone X with a mighty 256 gigabytes of memory. And how did I come by that, you might ask, given that I'm skint? Well, I am skint, and I came by it by swapping it for my iPad that I upgraded and replaced with this one, and I swapped it with a chap from work, and I thought I'd done jolly well, but if the audio's all buggered up, then maybe I didn't do so well. I was hoping that it would be significantly better quality than the elderly iPhone 6, and the additional memory capacity would be wonderful because I could film loads and loads and loads of stuff without running out of memory. So fingers crossed, you know, I can hoover it or something, see if that helps. Oh, Sam Kelly was bunny in porridge. Yeah, he was. I love porridge as well. Who can you name from porridge? Let's go through them all. Fletch, obviously. Godber, obviously. Bunny. Who was Biggins? Lukewarm, I think. Biggins was lukewarm. So, new feature just for tonight. Name porridge characters. Gruber. Simon Gruber. Oh, was that Lieutenant Gruber in Hello Hello, as in Sam Kelly again? The iPhone X sounds to have a lot of doings. It's got loads of doings, 256 doings, and that means that I've made you crooked, and that means I can record lots of doings, and that will be wonderful. Let's move you in a bit. Oh, there we are. How's that? So look. Yes, that's nice. Look at that. I'm all central. It's nice being central. I've got room either side. Oh, look, I'm getting funky. I'm getting jiggy with it. Check me out. Hey ho. Oh, Harry Grout. Of course, Harry Grout. Oh, hang on. We need more comments to distract him. Quick, ask a random question. You should draw a face on the milk I left and have a milky mustard on the table by your side. I noticed you left the milk. I don't know if you did that purposely or not, but I'm very grateful. I like having milk in for guests, especially when I don't have to buy it. And I have made, Simon, in your honour, I have made you an official milk. You won't see it. Oh, can you? Can you just see that? I've made you an official milk space. Look, you can just see it up there in the corner. In the main fridge, you have got your own space. That means that we are officially going steady and in a long-term relationship now. You've got your own space in my fridge. Do you want me to free up a drawer in the bedside table as well? Mackay, oh yeah, Mr. Mackay, that's naming people from porridge. Oh, and Mr. Barraclough, of course, played by Brian, played by Brian. Ives, oh yeah, Ives, odious little Ives. Can't remember the name of the actor, but yeah, good chat. iPhone might just need switching on and off again, or you can buy aerosol compressed air to blow out the speakers. That's a good shout. Yeah, I need to do that because I'm really hoping that this new recording device is going to be a valuable asset to my lousy channel. Oh, Blanco, played by David Jason. Good shout. He wasn't a regular as such, was he? But yeah, very good shout on that one. Yeah, you should be excited about your fridge space. Now then, let's run through. I made a little list of things I need to talk about. How organised am I? Live guests. Live guests. We've covered that, haven't we? I can do a live guest thing. So if you would like to be, oh my God, there's somebody here called Seymour Butts. Simpsons fan by any chance? Now don't shout at me, but I'm not going outside because it's about -100. So you'll just have to put up with it. I'll open the windows or something tomorrow. It's only a quick half. Now then. Yeah, live guests. I can apparently, the doings are there for me to have live guests on live streams. I would love to do that. If you would like to take part, give me a shout sometime between now and Thursday. Mustard has said that he might pop in on Thursday, that would be good. Especially if he's had a bit of practice after doing his own live stream tomorrow. Oh, Bunny Warren, good shout, yeah. That's another porridge doings. Make sure the phone has the latest updates. Yeah, I've done that. When I got it, the first night that I got it, which was Friday night, I did all the updatey thingies, so it has got the latest doings. As you'll see from a video that may be coming out tomorrow, I was a bit worried about the camera on it as well as the audio, because I did a test recording driving to work that I may or may not put out as a video or as part of a video, and I was worried that the screen wasn't as clear as it should be, but then I suddenly remembered on the way home, after agonising on it and cleaning it to within an inch of its life, I suddenly remembered that I was looking at the phone screen, not what the camera was seeing, and that the guy had put a screen protector on it. And so I thought, yeah, that might be. So I've done some test recording since and compared it with the frog in the throat. I did a test recording this morning where I recorded the same thing with the new recording device, the NRD, and the ORD, and the NRD did seem to have a discernibly better video quality. Colours were brighter. It was like the 1970s all over again. Oh, if the phone is still noisy after trying stuff, we can try a separate mic. I could do that. Yeah, that's a good shout. I have got a cheap mic, and I'd always planned to invest in a better mic when I had the money, and that might be coming sooner than expected. We'll get onto that in a minute. That's one of the exciting things. Well, it wasn't an exciting thing, but it's turned out to be an exciting thing. And it's turned out to be the right thing. I just didn't realise that it was the right thing until I was forced into doing it. And then I realised it was the right thing and that I shouldn't have had to be forced into doing it. And that will lead on to potentially other things. We can talk about that in a sec. What was I talking about? It's possible it seems some water in its life which has impacted the microphone. Oh hell. We'll monitor that. I don't know. Well, we need to. If it had, we need to dry the water out. So I'll sleep with it in my. pants, and that should generate some heat and dry it out. I'll turn the camera off first, though. I mean, you wouldn't want to see that. Oh, Jock McLaren. Yeah. Played by. Not a clue, can't remember, but good actor. Oh, purple pandas have been good for me, says Simon, and I immediately assumed that was some sort of, well, you know, it sounded like some sort of Viagra type thing, didn't it? Purple panda. But no, apparently it's a microphone, and I know nothing about microphones. I bought a £10 eBay special, and in windy conditions it's better than nothing. Generally speaking, it's pretty pants. So yeah, if any of you guys know what a good microphone is at a reasonable cost, please let me know, and I will certainly check out Purple Pandas. As you get more famous, you will have your own film crew, like Rate My Takeaway. That would be nice. I'd like that. I'd like a crew. Anyway, I was going through my list. So live guests. If you would like to be a live guest, you would need to have a portable electric telephone, and some time. We don't want to liven your pants. No, no, no. I won't put you through that. Merchandise. I need ideas for merchandise. We've covered that, but keep the ideas coming in. Channel memberships will be going live. Again, please give me your ideas. Oh, and I know what I didn't cover. I need to figure out what perks to offer for various tiers of support. And that's a tier, T-I-E-R, not T-E-A-R. Like tiers on a wedding cake. And speaking of cake, that seems to be the most popular. So should it be a food-based thing? Yeah, tier 1 you get Momo, tier 2 you get Momo and cake, and tier 3 you get Momo, cake and cake or something. Any ideas for that? But what I also need your ideas for, right? Each of the tiers has to have a name. Now, to give you an idea, the lovely Joseph Lloyd has named his tiers after cars, and presumably the cars are done in increasing desirability, so that the top tier is the most desirable car, except that it's a Rover 45, I think, in his case. So arguably that might not. Oh, hang on. Oh, hello. What's going on here? A different sticker each month that you're a channel members. Yeah, that's a good shout, and that will happen. I have started putting the doings together, and I have already enabled that. So the longer that you're a channel member, you get your emoji sticker type thing will change to recognise your continued support. I'm not sure what those logos will be yet. I've yet to work that out, but yeah, so give me your ideas for that. Give me your idea for perks, and give me your idea for what. Let's go with 3. We need 3 tiers. 1, 2, 3. And what should they be called? I've just put something in there for now, just as I'm working through them, and they're they're awful. What did I do? Boaty's Backers, Boaty's Babes, and Boaty's Bless Poppets. But I'm sure you can do a lot better than that. Hope so, anyway. Oh, sorry, you meant actual car stickers. Oh, a message has been held for review. We need a cameraman for our stuff because you're fucking useless at it. Well, that's nice. That's lovely. Thank you, Mustard. But yeah, it would be fun to have a camera person or a cameraman woman. So if anybody wants to be a cameraman woman person, do let us know. You won't get paid. Sorry, you meant actual car stickers. I think actual car stickers are a jolly good idea, and I meant to find out where to get them done, and I didn't. So if anybody knows who does the little car stickers, I would like to have some, and they would be given away as a perk. Not on the basic tier, because I would have to post them, and that would cost more than the basic tier membership. But yeah, car stickers are going to be a go, yeah, so if anybody knows where I can get those from, shout me out, please. Oh, Joe, is it right that your Rover 45 has heated front seats? No, it's not. My Rover 45 does not have heated front seats. I wish it did, but no, it doesn't. Joseph cars are cars he has owned. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, I thought that was actually quite a good idea. I mean, he's obviously a car channel, and I thought that was a good idea. LLS and GLS for tiers. That thought occurred to me last night. Yeah, whether to go with car models like LH, LHLS, or yeah, LS, GLS, Gear, something like that. That's possibly a good idea. and quite possibly something that I'll end up doing. So good shout on that one. Any other ideas? Keep them going. Matt Richardson is probably the best person to contact about recording equipment. That's his proper job. Yeah, except that Matt Richardson doesn't know me from Adam, or barely knows me from Adam. He's replied to a comment, and I think I'm right in saying that he is a subscriber. But whether he actually knows me or knows me well enough to reply to an impertinent message asking for his expertise, I don't know. Although he's such a thoroughly nice chap, he probably would reply. So I might Twitter him on tweet. Sorry, I might tweet him on Twitter or whatever you do on that. He's jolly active on Twitter. He's always twitting. Whereas me, not so much. Ali Mac gives all his stickers away for free. Yeah, but if you have to post them, that's like money. It's not just giving a sticker away, which probably only cost a few pence. But if you have to post them as well, I wouldn't mind giving them to people in person. But if I've got to buy an envelope and a stamp and fuel to go to the post office, which is an hour's round trip, that's like serious money. I'm buggered if I'm giving all of that away for nothing. I can't afford to. I think Rover Joe makes car stickers. Cool. Don't know who Rover Joe is. No need for heated seats when you eat lots of spicy food. Yeah, you've actually got a point. I did some tremendous... What day was it yesterday? Sunday. I did some really serious farting on Sunday. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is that I'd eaten, but proper, not unpleasant. In fact, they were quite pleasant. They were good, old school, proper, non-offensive, well-rounded, well-defined farts with a beginning, a middle and an end. And they were entirely unforced, entirely natural, and I enjoyed them very much. And that went on for a good 4 or 5 hours, and it was great. I loved it. Let's see. Oh, is it past 12? God, is it? Oh, blimey. Okay, come on, Boaty, fess up which card is going. Okay, should we do that now? Yeah, I've crossed off the rest of the list, so pardon me while I have a doings. One of the fleet is going. Does anybody want to have a guess while I have a puff? Which one of the fleet do you think is going? And where do you think it might be going and why? And what, if anything, should it be replaced with? I'll tell you in a minute. I have spoken about this before. I've talked about the fact that realistically, at the best of the times, I'm too skint to run a fleet like I've got. And that is most certainly proving to be true while I'm having to pay £15 a day on gas, which is just crippling me. Absolutely bloody crippling me. I've spoken about how it works better for the channel as content if you have a turnover of vehicles rather than just the same ones, especially as I can't tinker with them, so they're not going to change by being tinkered with. Neither can I afford to have them tinkered with very much. And also the fact that I was a car dealer, I never kept cars, I always had a massive turnover, so that's more natural to me. We've spoken about all of that. So yeah, it kind of makes sense to have a bit of movement on the fleet. And it certainly makes sense to put some money in the bank at the moment because I haven't got any. Not only have I not got any, I've not got even more than I've not got. So I'm over my bloody overdraft. And today a direct debit bounced and I couldn't afford to buy any gas. Um, I had cash. I did have cash, so I was able to do an emergency run to the post office, which you will see. I wasn't alone. 3, 2, 1. My sincere apologies. Right, let's have a look. Oh, a hidden comment. I did Big Long Trump in Lidl on Friday. A bloke shouted, "Good art." Is that true? If that's true, I love that. I got a round of applause on my favourite balcony in my favourite hotel in Malta. I looked left and right, and the coast was clear, and I let a really good one go. And I completely forgot that in a hotel there's above and below as well. And the balcony above me gave me what sounded like a standing ovation, for which I was jolly grateful. Let's see. A well-defined fart is a park, arguably. Ali Mac normally gives away followers who attend my shows or watch videos. Yeah, I'd be all for that. I'd be all for that. I'm just not going to post them for nothing, because that's not free. It's costing me money. I haven't got that money. John reckons that it's the ZT to go, and do you know what? That would be my bet too. Project Nigel says, I love my facts, but I do tune them to sound better. That's good. I like a well-tuned fact. And perhaps you would like to give us one of your well-tuned facts now. I gave you a jolly good fact in our last live stream when I told you that herring gulls talk to their young while they're still in the egg. Jimmy Quinn suggests that my card is going to the scrapyard for 300 quid. Harsh. Tracy thinks that Sheeson is going to Bath. Oh God, we've got another Oprah. Gloria Honeyford. Some of these names are great. Jack Me Off. Jack Mahoff. Reckons that one of the 25s is on its way. Brian Johnston to the Hairy Paddington. Well, yeah, that would be full circle, because Brian Johnston came from the Hairy Paddington, and I wouldn't send him back to the Hairy Paddington. He was there too long, and his welcome was sort of outstayed, and he wasn't getting the love that he deserved. So no, he wouldn't be going there. The ZT to Mustard Celebrity Friend. Good shout. Yeah, because the lovely James, who I think is in Vegas at the moment, seems to be on an MG collecting spree, and the ZT would fit in rather well, wouldn't it? And the ZT is the one that I always figured should be the first to go. But is it going to be? We'll find out in just a moment. James Wilson, Ms Henrietta Pye possibly going? And also say, surely the ZT ain't going, as it's the great and fun KV6. And Ali Mac, he points out that he gets ad revenue from his channel, and that's why he's able to send the stickers out, which is a fair point. And possibly when I start getting ad revenue, then yeah, maybe I will rethink that. Maybe you've got a good point there. Maybe just for being a subscriber, you should get a car sticker. I think you might be right. I think you might have a jolly good point there, and I think you might be right. Because at the end of the day, anybody with a car sticker is ultimately spreading the channel about, so they're kind of doing you a favour. And should they pay to do you a favour? No, they shouldn't. It should be a thank you. Ali Mac Mechanical, you've convinced me that you are correct. When I get some stickers and some ad revenue, I will probably make them available free of charge to anybody who wants one. Oh, hang on. Simon has pointed out, if you give a sticker to every sub, you'd have to send out over 1k. And at £1 a stamp, that's £1,000. Yeah, sod that. Ignore everything I've just said. You've got to subscribe to get a sticker. If you come and see me at a car show, then fair enough. You might get one, but yeah, I'm not posting them out. I'm not sending 1,000 stickers out at £1 a sticker. Sod that for a game of soldiers. Mustard and Wendy Craig won the 75 estate. I think he's called Alan. Well, let's get it out there, shall we? One of my fleet is going to what I know is going to be an amazing home, and it will be she. Now there's a clue. She will be well looked after, and not just well maintained, but improved. She will become a better and happier car, and she will get to travel internationally. The car that's going is Ms Henrietta Pye, the 75 Tourer, and am I allowed to say where it's going to? Shove a comment in here quickly. I just suddenly thought maybe I'm not supposed to say where it's going to. Sorry, I'm just being pinged about, oh, thumbs up, I guess that's an okay. Okay, Ms Henrietta Pye is going to start her new life with Simon, the lovely Simon, Project MGTF. And Simon is one of those clever people who can do things himself. He doesn't have to pay other people to do them. And he's wanted a Tourer, and this is what I meant when I said that it's the right thing to do, but I needed to be shoved into doing the right thing. I was talking about this with Mustard, and the idea of being a temporary home for cars while they find their amazing forever home is a really nice idea. Maybe, you know, you're not going to be the right forever home for every car. You might think that you are, but sometimes a more appropriate home will come along. You know, maybe they're going to be an only car or an only second car, or you know, they're best blessed financially, and the car's just going to have a better life. And this is one of those situations. If you've been with this channel a fair while, then you've been with the journey of Ms Henrietta Pye from day one, literally from the day that I collected it. And you know the foibles, you know the great point. It's a fantastic car, and I love it, and I've loved owning it. But it's going to a better place, and it's going to the right place. And Jesus Christ, God knows, I need the money for mundane things like getting my bank account back in the black rather than in the red, and for paying direct debits, but also for helping out the other members of the fleet. You know, sometimes you just have to have a bit of a rationalisation, and there's no point in going through the winter with 6 cars in varying states of disrepair, when I can, if I've got the opportunity to move one car on to a much better home where it's going to be loved and improved and cherished. And that means that will free up some money for me to do some much needed work on the others, and at least make sure that they're all, you know, fully roadworthy and drivable, and they're not at the moment. Sheeson is still in Mustard's yard, as you know. Stigbert needs a tyre. HJ Rover, the Honourable HJ Rover, he needs an MOT, and to get his MOT he's going to need an exhaust back box and possibly a tyre. And, you know, much better. It's better for everybody to do it this way. And I should have done it sooner. I shouldn't have been so stubborn. And I have mentioned it in videos leading up to this, and I have said, look, if you're interested in any of the cars, do shout me, because there is a potential, and Simon did exactly that, and it's the right thing to do. He's getting the car that he wants. He knows what he's buying, because God knows he's seen enough of the car, and he's obviously had a look at it himself now in real life. And, you know, it's the right car for him, and he's the right owner for the car, and that will mean that the life of the other cars will improve, and my own personal financial situation will improve. So it's just a win, 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 win. There's no reason for not doing this, and I was stupid not to have thought about or accepted doing this sooner. And it's just the universe working in a weird way that Simon had arranged to come here today. Not to come and buy the car, just to come and hang out and have a bit of fun and do some stuff and look around the cars and whatever. And that's exactly what we did. We had a really fun day. We had lunch. We talked about some really interesting stuff, and he gave me some great ideas, and it was all good. And we talked a lot about building the community. And excitingly, he seems to be very much on the same page as me when it comes to the community, same page as me and Mustard. And he's got some ideas of his own, which I think are great, and which I hope we'll put into practice. And yeah, we spoke a lot about that, and this is a perfect example of the community at work. So even though I'm parting with one of my cars that I love, it's not like I'm never going to see it again, because it's going to be part of the community. It'll be content on Simon's channel. I'll see it, you know, all over the place. And I know that it's going to a better place. And as I said, it's going to help out all along the line. So maybe this is the future. Maybe it's not about a static collection. Maybe it's about some things being static. You know, it would take a lot for me to part with Sheeson, but I would if the home was right and if the money was right. And maybe it needs to be a fluid thing for the sake of everybody. And so if the right home comes along for the right card at the right money, I'm not even going to think about it in future. It'll just be a, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, maybe something else will come along that needs a home with me, and I can get it to a certain stage, or at least save it from being in the wrong owner until the right owner comes along. And I just think it's all really wonderful, and I feel very warm and fuzzy about the whole thing. But yeah, it's a definite thing. The car is sold, deposit has been taken, we're both delighted with it, and it's just all good. So if anybody is interested in any of my other cars, feel free to shout out. And if a car desperately needs rescuing, I might be in a position to do it now, which is another good thing. You know, I can get the bank account back again sorted, put some money on the meter, sort some bits on the other cars, and still have a little bit left over, so that if a car needs rescuing, as in saving from the scrap man, keeping on the road somehow, even if I'm just a temporary keeper, then I might be able to do that. So it's all good. It's all good. Let's catch up with some comments. Right. Oh, controversial. I hope the Tourer gets some tasteful wheels. Right. When I first saw the car, I would have agreed with that. But now, I think that car looks fantastic. on those black 18-inch straights, and it's not my decision anymore, but I would be very happy if the car stayed on those wheels. Simon, what's the wheel plan? Will Henny be staying on those wheels, or will they be being swapped? I think they look brilliant on the car. I hadn't had the car all that long, but I just got used to, more than got used to them, I just started looking at them and thinking they're right. And now when I look at Sir Arnold, I think, well, those wheels aren't right. I think they look better on the bigger alloys with the lower profile tyres. It won't be happening on Sir Arnold because I lashed out on new tyres all round, so he'll be staying as he is, but there we are. Captain Mustard still has some stickers to give away. Oh, Mustard won't mind the sticker being on an Audi. He won't mind it being on anything. I mean, it's getting the Project Nigel name out there, isn't it? I can't wait to get started on her. This is Simon talking about Henny. A new journey where you'll see her regularly and watch her grow. I love that. I love the idea that the car is going to be improved. I mean, selling a car that you love, if you're selling it to somebody that you're not sure of, or where you think it's going to be driven into the ground as a daily and then scrapped at the end of the MOT, that's one thing. Selling it to somebody who's going to really appreciate it and improve it, how can that be anything other than a positive? I mean, we are talking about a car, we have to remember that. We're not talking about a wife. Now, I can understand why your heart would be broken if your wife said, look, somebody else has come along and they can give me a better life than you. They've got more money than you. They can look after me better than you. They can improve me. They can give me new breasts and new teeth and a facelift. And for those reasons, you should be happy that I've been cheating on you and now I'm leaving you. I can understand that that would not be a thing. But, you know, when it's a car, even though you love them, you know, it should be slightly different. And I'm genuinely over the moon that she's going to a place where she's going to become a better Henny. And let's drink to that. I think that's wonderful. Boaty holding folding. No green wheels, please. Oh, God. Oh, is that what you meant? Of course. Simon's MGTF boasts green wheels, which are, and I hope you'll forgive me for saying this, gopping. Absolutely gopping. Please. It's none of our business, but I think I speak for all of us when I say, please don't paint Henny's wheels green. Oh, Lord above. Ali Mack says, I may have sold Roger the Rover at a £500 loss, nevertheless I've had a lot of fun with him. Remind everybody, who and what is Roger the Rover? A quick question from Gilbert. What's the longest folk have owned a car? My friend has owned her HLS Allegro for 33 years. That'll take some beating, but a good question. What is the longest you have owned a car? Mustard says, Simon's subscribers will go up quite a bit with this deal. I genuinely hope they do. If he can pick up some of my subscribers because he's got a car that was on this channel, brilliant. It's back to the community thing again. I hope he does. And I will certainly do everything that I can to push his channel. And I will do a video, a sort of goodbye video with, I don't know what will be in it, but there'll be, it'll, off the top of my head, I'll do a sort of highlights video of my time with her and harking back to the time that I picked her up. And obviously there will be a handover. And I will urge everybody, and let's remember this, the collection video for Henny is by far and away my most successful video, with more than double the views of the next one. So you could argue that it's a car that people have most bonded with on the channel, or certainly the car that's been the most viewed on the channel. So I will urge anybody who's viewed her on my channel to carry on with her and to follow her journey on Simon's. So that's great. I'm certainly not going to be precious about. I think it's great. You know, I've been pushing other channels, and I've loved to see that other people that I've pushed have been doing the same. It doesn't matter that I'm only really small. You know, Mustard gave me a massive leg up when I needed it most, or gave, well, both me and my channel a massive leg up. And he's not Hubnut size, but he was a million times big, well, not literally a million times, but a lot bigger than me. So that leg up from him made a massive difference for my channel. And I wanted to sort of pass that on. So, you know, I've been shouting out Dance Bangers, I shout out Shoestring Shed, I shout out Beards and Bangers, who is going brilliantly. Check his numbers. That boy is going places, I tell you. Rob, it's going to be a really good channel. And the same goes for Simon. His numbers have been, you know, relatively speaking, flying up. And I hope that he gets a massive push from taking on Henny. It's, you know, it's community. People are not. It's not like a woman. It's not like a marriage. There's not a problem with sharing viewers, and I think that having a little community where we do, you know, at the very least we shout each other out and do collaborative work and get involved. I think that's great, because I think it's good for us individually as channels. But I think it's good for viewers as well, because they might pick up on a channel that they really enjoy that they wouldn't have seen otherwise. Because no matter how many shared interests or shared content there is, each channel is going to be a little bit different. Mustard and I do stuff together. But obviously on our own channels, the stuff that we do is very, very different. He goes Harry Paddington in it, doing clever mechanical tinkering and weird philosophical muses and musical stuff, and I do cookery bits and lavatory reviews and appear naked in the bath with my hands over my private parts. So, vive la différence, it's all good. Diddly-do, diddly-do. Oh, Ali Mac had his 820 SI for 2 years. Arthritis has owned his Mark II Escort RS2000 for 34 years. And let's just all have a moment of envy that one of our brethren here owns a Mark II Escort RS2000. And it doesn't matter if you're a Ford fan or not, or an Escort fan or not. Let's make no bones about this. An Escort Mark II RS2000 is a seriously cool car, and whether we like to admit it or not, we would all love to bloody own one. Stephen S. Paul, the other side of the herring pond, still has his second car and his third and fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh and eighth and ninth. He's got a lot of cars. Basically, if you're new to Stephen S. Paul, he's an American friend. He owns a state of America, I can't remember which one, but he owns the entire state, and he's got it mostly full of his own cars, including some properly cool ones. He's got a De Tomaso Mangusta, for God's sake. He is the man to whom we all aspire, as is Arthritis, now that we know what he's got. And Mustard straight in, he would like to see it, by which he means he would like to drive it and video it and put it on his channel. Oh, hang on. Hold the phones. Beards and Bangers did a similar one too, saying, I would like to drive and review your car for my channel. I've never done that, but I would like to do these things too. I would like to drive your cars, and I would like to talk about them. So if any of you have got a car that you would be willing to let me drive and review, please get in touch with me. The more interesting, the better. And guess what? Now, as a result of a very recent sale, I might actually have petrol to get to you, or diesel, depending on which car I drive. So yeah, I would like to test drive cars too. So if you've got a car, and whether you would like me to review it or whether you would just be willing to allow me to review it and drive it and talk about it, please get in touch. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to do a piece on your car. There are loads of cars that I would love to drive that I've driven before or that I've never driven. I love cars, I'm a petrol head. I'd love to do that. And I don't know why I've never shouted this out before. So please, yeah, I would like to drive your car. Yeah. I've owned my Fiat Tipo since 1996. Oh, it's going to be put down on Thursday. Oh no. Oh, we're all so sorry for your loss. I guess, given that it's a Fiat Tipo, I guess it's rotten. Oh, what a shame. Bad Books has owned his Mark II Polo since May 1989, and it was his first car. That's fabulous. I think Sir Arnold is a keeper. Perhaps you need him and a Freelander. That's actually a really good shout. Sir Arnold probably is a keeper, but only because I've spent more money on him than I've spent on any of my other cars. And I probably spent more on him than he's worth, because he's a Rover 75 CDTI automatic connoisseur SE, but his body is pretty banged up, and he's been to the moon and back mileage wise. He's done 160 something thousand miles. So what would I get for him? But I've spent, I've spent over £1,000 on him, which is unheard of for me, or about £1,000 anyway. So, probably not be worth selling. I mean, if somebody came along and offered me reasonable money for him, I'd happily part with him. But he's probably a keeper for those reasons. And, I do love him. And he was the origin of my Rover thing. He was my first Rover in this phase of my life and my car life. So I feel that he should stay with me. And he certainly feels like part of the family. So yeah, he probably is a keeper. And I agree on the Freelander. It's ridiculous that I don't have a 4x4. And I would love to have a Freelander. So if anybody's selling a cheap one in silver, let me know. Oh, hello. As you live in the countryside, have you thought about a wood burner? I would love one, but it would cost a fortune to unblock these chimneys. I've got 2 chimneys because originally there was open fire here in this fireplace and in the fireplace in the front parlour. And they're not in a very good state. I'd have to have them unblocked, I'd have to have them reflued, and then I would have to have them rebuilt and repointed or whatever it is, and it would cost a fortune. So as much as I would love one, probably not a viable thing. Oh, Stephen S. Paul has made it to his 78th car, which he still owns. One health review, Ali Mac, let's have a look. Anyone want to buy a wife? Bit cold in the morning, whines a bit when asked to do something. Don't sell your wife. Have you got a sticker on it? They're a massive contrast on the TF. I do have others that I swap over to now. Oh, that's Simon talking about his TF and his green wheels. As you have a couple of bob in your pocket, get an air fryer. They are fab and save loads of gas. I'm in love with mine. Not a bad shout. Not a bad shout, Gilbert. I'll have a look on Facebook Marketplace, and if there's a cheap one knocking about, I might have an experiment with one, because I agree. I think I would get a lot of good use from that. Oh, Jimmy Quinn's owned a Fiat 126 bis as a tow car for 20 years. Brilliant. I can get you a Volvo V70 estate to review. It's Allegra Man's Daily. Yeah, I'd love to do that. I had a Volvo, I think it was a V70 estate, or was it a V70 saloon? I had one as my commuting car for about 6 days back in the day. Took it as part exchange, had a full tank of fuel. I used the full tank of fuel before I sold it, and I was quite impressed with it. Except it had the gearbox, the synchro was buggered in the gearbox and took a bit of double declutching, but that was a nice car. But I'd love to review anything. Project Nigel, I want the Volvo too. Do that on your own live stream. Bugger off. Don't bugger off. But get in the queue. I get first go if they come from this one, and you get first go when they come on yours. You've done loads. I haven't done any. I've not done a single one on anybody else's car. Can I do one of yours? I should do one of yours. You've done mine. I've never done yours. You've seen mine. I've never seen yours. That's not fair. So Arnold was a brave steed today. Yeah, we went out in Sir Arnold today. We went on my emergency post office run. That was a fucking, Jesus Christ. Oh dear me. We had to go to a very seedy part of town, to a very seedy post office. And then we went to McDonald's, which was much more uplifting. But yes, Sir Arnold is a good soul, a good, hearty, steady soul, for all that he looks a bit pants. Allegra Man bought my Rover 45, so it lives on. I wish I could have kept it. Still, blah, blah. But he still has his 75, which he's owned since March 2020. This is James Wilson, by the way, and he hopes to have his 75 for many years with a 75 2.5 V6 one day. I keep saying that, I keep thinking that the ZT is the one that I thought I'd sell, but I do love that 2.5 V6, and with a couple of bob in my pocket now, I'm less inclined to part with that. In fact, I'm thinking that I should have at least next summer with it, doing it properly, where I've got some money to take it on some proper road trips. Stigbert hasn't been on a proper road trip, and I would love to do that. Oh, and I need to do a video about his gramophone. I need your help with the gramophone. I'll tell you very quickly, I need to do it properly and show you pictures. Stigbert originally came with the MGs, the ZTs anyway. There was a period where they had Kenwood stereos fitted as standard, as OEM from the factory. And being the top of the range model, Stigbert was fitted with a Kenwood radio cassette player with a flip down front and a 6-disc magazine. At some point, an owner swapped the tape player with a correct period fitment CD, Kenwood flip down CD player, and that's what's in him now, which is fine, it works, although it doesn't work with the steering wheel controls for some reason. But it doesn't operate the CD player because the CD tuners didn't have that option. So I can't remember the model number. I've got the model number, I've got a picture from the catalogue, and I'll show you in a video, because I will do a video about it. But if anybody knows where I can get hold of the Kenwood cassette radio tuner thing with a flip down front that also operates the steering wheel controls and the 6 CD thing in the boot, please let me know, because that's something that I want to do for Stigbert. And yeah, I love that 2.5 V6, and I should drive him more. You know, maybe I should just have fewer cars full stop, so that I can drive them more regularly, enjoy them more, and keep on top of them more easily. Because it's not just the cost of repairs, I tax and insure these things as well. So imagine if I didn't tax and insure 3 cars. That would be, imagine if I only had 3 and didn't tax and insure the other 3. That would be like 30, 60, 90, that'd be like 300 or 400 quid a month. I'd be, hang on, is that right? God, it is, isn't it? I've never added it up. That would free up a shed load of money that I could then spend enjoying the other cars, and I could go places and repair them. That's my problem. I've got too many cars, haven't I? And I'm a fool, I didn't see it. I should only have like 3 cars, a daily and 2 toys. That's where I've been going wrong. I've been too ambitious. I can't afford a fleet yet. Maybe I never will. God, no wonder I've been so bloody poor. What a silly man I am. I need to get rid of some cars. Somebody buy some of my cars. Ali Mac's heading off. Good night to you. In fact, it's about that time, isn't it? Yeah, it's 20 to 1. I've done an hour 40. Probably time to think about saying our goodbyes. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover tonight. So yeah, let's start saying our goodbyes. Let's start winding up. I've got curry to eat. I'll have a quick doings and then we'll come back and do the sign-ups. I missed doing this the other Thursday. How different life would be if I had fewer cars. Oh, here's a question for you. If I was only going to keep 3 of the current fleet, which 3 should I keep? And bear in mind that Henrietta Pye is already gone. Okay, time to say goodnight. Let's whiz through the comments. Frank Whittle has asked, are you asking me, what was your first car stroke horse and car? I'm not quite that old. My first car, and you can see some of my car history if you look for a video called A Potted History of Sheds, and that's my personal car history, and there are 2 episodes so far. One is my first handful of cars, and the other one is some of the other one is, I think it's the fastest cars I've owned, where we sort of jump forward and talk about some of the Ferraris and Lamborghinis and whatnot that have been through my hands. To answer your question, hold on. My first car was an Austin Ambassador 2-litre HLS, registration FFD 526Y, and it cost 500 quid and it was silver. Talk about coming full circle. We've said goodnight to Ali Mac. James says that my 75 is a 1.8 turbo, a very fun engine indeed. I've heard amazing things about them. In real terms, they're supposed to be as quick as the V6. And they're surprisingly frugal, certainly far more so than the V6. I've never driven one, and I would love to. I would love to drive one to see what they're like. Maybe I would even love to own one. I love the relaxed nature of the bigger engine, but I'd love to drive a 1.8 turbo. And you're obviously mad keen on yours, and you're obviously a V6 fan as well. So I'd love to drive one. If you've got one, let us know what they're like, and if you've got one, can I please drive it and do a video about it? Matthew Harrison says, Matlock McDonald's is decent. Bastards leave the light on after closing though, which can cause confusion when requiring munchies. I am a fan of the Matlock McDonald's, and I am no stranger there. It is kind of my go-to McDonald's if I'm at home, which doesn't often happen. McDonald's is normally an out and about thing, but in fact, God, this was a low point. There was a point where I applied for a job at McDonald's and was rejected. How low does your life have to be rejected for a job at McDonald's? But yeah, I remember when they built that, and it's yeah, it's a nice enough McDonald's, and of course I used to live in Matlock Bath, and I had a stepchild, and that used to be our treat. We used to go there, and I last was there. When I did the film on the Cromford station, and I went there for lunch, and yeah, good show. Big up to Matlock McDonald's, and can I have some free stuff? Where do we get to? Hold on. Stig with the ZT can be your Series 1 and Arnold your Series 2. Probably a good shout. I did always say that part of me thought the ZT because I didn't use it enough, but then I did say that I had too many 75s. There were, okay, you can argue that I had the MG version, the Rover version and the Tourer, so there are 3 different versions, but really 3 was too many, and I did say that if one was to go, it should be one of the 75s, really, because there's just too much crossover. So yeah, having the Series 1 ZT and the post facelift Rover, which, as we discussed, should be a keeper, could be a good way to go. It certainly will be for the interim. Gilbert thinks he has a Kenwood radiogram. It needs to be a very specific model, but I'll do a video where I show a picture of the model that I need and give the model number and everything in case anybody knows of one. You can never have too many cars. I agree with you. And if money and space was no issue, I'd be with you. I'd have 70 of the things, but I'm working on a stupidly limited budget. Realistically, my budget for cars is 0, because anything I spend on cars is coming off something else that I should be spending money on. And you know, my income is laughably small, and I've only got 1 off-road parking spot, which means that any car that I've got needs to be MOT, needs to be taxed, needs to be insured, and it just mounts up. And okay, I got away with it in summer when my bills were lower, but the cost of living crisis has hit, everything's more expensive, and at the moment, let's face facts, I cannot run 6 cars, and I was silly to try and keep them on the road over winter. I should have looked at thinning out the fleet sooner. But hey ho, because they can always be re-added when my financial situation improves, if the channel takes off, when spring hits and I'm not doing 15 quid a day on gas. So yeah, let's be open to the idea of losing another 2 of the fleet, shall we? So again, if you're interested in any, do shout out, and I'll probably do a video about that possibility. Tracy says good night to me and everyone else, and see you next time. Good night, Tracy. Have a safe one. Hopefully see you Thursday. The Rover 45 seems to be in demand these days if you are selling. I would be perfectly happy to sell my Rover 45. I really would. It's a great car. When I bought it, it was 1 owner. It's got a service history like you've never seen before. It's like that. It's had tens of thousands of pounds spent on it. It hasn't got a spot of rust on it anywhere, on top or underneath, because it's been fully rust proof and wax oiled and everything. And I've used it as a daily for too long, and I would love to see somebody take that car and cherish it. It's still reasonably low mileage, although I've put a lot on it. I would love the 45 to go to a good home. So that's definitely on the list to go. Let's see. Matthew Harrison says, good night to everybody. Good night, Matthew. Gilbert says, Sir Arnold, Stigbert, and some type of 44 would be a good basic 3. Yeah, except I'd probably want Sheeson to be in there. I was thinking about this the other day. I think I would like, no, I'm pretty sure I would like Brian Johnston to be my daily. And I would like to sell the Rover 45. And then I would like Sheeson and Stigbert as special occasions cars, and Sir Arnold as my runabout car that I'm not using as my work car. So I'd have Brian Johnston as the work car, Sir Arnold as the runabout car, and then the 2 special occasion cars, Sheeson and Stigbert. So, okay, that's 4 cars, not 3, but it's less than 6, so it would be a step in the right direction. Simon suggests Sheeson, Stigbert, and the 45. Yeah, I'd be happy to let the 45 go to the right home, actually. Although, it's a car I'm very comfortable driving, and it drives so well. I mean, they drive well anyway because they handle so well. They've got such great dynamics. But I think if it came down to, I've got a soft spot for Brian Johnston. And if it came down to the choice of Brian Johnston or the 45 as a daily, I think I'd go for Brian Johnston. Anyway, we can see. Chef Daniel says, Toodle Pip, didn't even realise you were here, sir, but thanks for tuning in, and good night. Keep Sir Arnold, Brian Johnston, and the 45 MG. Oh, Simon will bring the MGB up to Windy Bum for a roundabout. I'd love to do that. I would love to do a BGT, because when I had the showrooms, I sold 30 BGTs. No, I sold 30. I sold 30 MGBs a month on average, and I pretty much knew all there was to know about them. I had to, because in order to sell them to anybody who knew what they were talking about, you had to know at least as much as them. And they were like a constant in my life. And there was a lot that I loved about them, and you know, I had them as my play cars over, you know, many times there, including and also NGCs and BV8s and GTs and Roadsters, and it's been a long time since I got my bum in one, so I would love that, especially if it was a Mark II with the stripy deck chair seats. They were fun. Excuse me. Oh, looking at the corner of my eye, this time to go. Oh, James Wilson, Dream Classic Car and SD1. I need to go. I need to let you go. But the thing keeps crossing my mind about, what about if I did a wipe the slate clean and sold them all, or all but one, and bought something amazing like an SD1 V8, you know, something that I could truly love and cherish just on its own. And that idea does appeal a little bit, because yeah, I would love an SD1. And if you said, would you swap 3 of your cars for an SD1? Yeah, I would. I'd also swap them for a camper van. But yeah, that idea keeps mithering away as well. Maybe Stigbert should be like a one, and Stigbert and Sheeson. If I was going to pick 2 to have as my, if I could only have the 2 special occasion cars that I could really keep on top of and properly love, then probably Stigbert and Sheeson, I think. Oh, the 25 GTI. Right, guys, I'll keep waffling on forever if I don't stop. Oh yeah, clean slate plan. How would that? Yeah. You're probably right, Simon. Guys, let's wrap this one up. It's been brilliant. Thank you so much for your Stigma is an SD1 V8 equivalent. You probably got a point. You probably got a point, and realistically, on a relatively low budget, probably a lot easier to keep in reasonable shape because he's already in good shape. He's a low mileage car. Maybe I need to fall properly in love with Stigma. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I'll bring him up outside the door tomorrow and show him some love and bond with him and take him down and put a tyre on him. Guys, let's cut. Thank you so much for your company tonight. So quick run through before I go. Remember my birthday brunch. Oh, we didn't cover that. I forgot to do that. Boaty's World Meetup, Sunday the 15th of January. It's my birthday on the 14th, on the Saturday. I thought a birthday brunch meetup here at my village hall would be lovely. There's an event already made in the Facebook group, Boaty's World Facebook group. I'd love some of you guys to come. I'd love all of you to come. Jump onto Facebook, check that out, talk to me about it. Brilliant. Give me ideas about the tiers and perks for channel membership. Give me some merch ideas. And if you'd like to be a guest on a live stream, give me a shout. And if you'd let me drive your car, give me a shout. And if you'd like to be on a video, give me a shout. And there we are. Thank you, everybody. Simon, thanks for today. It was great, mate. Can't wait to see you next time. Thank you all for your company. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching the adverts on this or on any other. Don't you touch that knob. I need you not to touch that knob. If you touch your knob, that makes Boaty sad. There's a slogan for a t-shirt. Guys, good night. It's freezing cold. We're all skinned. I hope you're safe. I hope you're warm. I hope you've got a full stomach. And I hope you have a safe and peaceful night. And I can't wait to catch you next time. Oh, and tomorrow night, Project Nigel live stream 10 o'clock. And my next live stream Thursday night 11 o'clock. Possibly with Captain Mustard and possibly with some of you guys as well. That'd be fabulous. That's it. That really is it. Good night, my loves. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a safe and peaceful night. See you next time.